We're back again on another day. Bling. So check this out. All right. The CNO just dropped her. I got it up on screen. I'm looking at it over here. Just dropped her priorities. Okay. Long form video to come. I'm gonna try to wrap through this in less than 15 minutes. Key points here: who we are, what we do, where we are going, our priorities. Which is strange that it's only like one sentence. Or maybe the priorities are under here. I don't know. Warfighting, deliver decisive combat power. Warfighters, this has got to be the actual priorities, right? Warfighting, deliver decisive combat power. Warfighters, strengthen the Navy team. Foundation, yeah, that's it. Okay. Build trust, align resources, and be ready. Because it says our priorities, we will focus on the warfighting, warfighters, and the foundation. Okay, so, who we are. We're the United States Navy, the most powerful Navy in the world. We're sailors and civilians. Yeah. I've said this before. I'm going to keep saying it, okay? I do not like it, okay, that somewhere along the lines here, we have joined in the civilians as the Navy, right? Like, some civilians are very helpful. Many are very much not helpful. Many are just retirees that fucking work their way into a good GS job or good contracting job that they cannot fucking be fired from, right? That do shit work, that don't answer emails, that fucking give you the runaround, that provide no answers, no help to anything that you need them to do. So, yes, I am big time fucking like anti-civilian in this. Now, on the other hand, my wife's a civilian. She works at the hospital. She's fucking doing God's work over there, saving fucking lives and helping out retirees and in active duty in the ICU regularly, right? Double thumbs up. That's what the fuck they should be doing. The ones that sit in offices on 32nd Street, they're collecting fucking, 6-figure paychecks and can't fucking answer an email for 3 days, that take fucking, 4-day weekends every other weekend. What the fuck? Fuck you. That's a soapbox. I'll come back to that maybe one day. All right. Who've answered our nation's call to service. Fuck ever. I'm just civilians again. Okay. We're Americans who embody character, competence, and dedication to our mission. Our identity is forged by the sea, and we serve with honor, courage, and commitment. All right. Hit all the key keywords there. What we do. We're here to preserve the peace and respond in crisis and win decisively in war. Preserve the peace, respond in crisis, and win decisively in war, all underlined bold. We operate far forward from around the world, around the clock, from the seabed to space, in cyberspace, and the information environment to promote our nation's prosperity and security, deter aggression, and provide options to our nation's leaders. We deliver power for peace, but are always, it's small writing, sorry, and it's like blurry because there's a picture and it's not real clear. Postured and ready to fight and win as part of the joint force and alongside our allies and partners. Okay, cool. So, yeah, it's what we do. Like, it's a pretty good assumption of, or a roundup there of what we do. I'm with that. Cool. Okay. Where we're going. The threats to our nation, our interests are real and growing. The strategic environment has changed. Gone are the days of operating from a maritime sanctuary against competitors who cannot threaten us. Boom. Big one right there. Right? Like, that's all I try to tell fucking sailors today is like, it is coming, and there's going to be more where the war, right? It's fucking front page news, like fucking, it's there. It's going to happen, okay? But it's about time we recognize it and stop fucking like, rattling our fucking own shield about like how superior we are when she just calls it out, says, gone are the days of operating from a maritime sanctuary against competitors who cannot threaten us. We're not the only fucking fish in the pond anymore, and we can be threatened. Simple as that. Look what's been going on all this month over in the Red Sea, right? It's all open source, right? You just fucking Google, like, ships have been shooting down shit. I just read one, CENTCOM just put out a press release. 4 destroyers and a couple F-18s fucking just shot everything out of the sky that motherfuckers were trying to send into the Red Sea, right? And that's over there. That's not even over in the 7th Fleet AOR, where you got China, Okay, so think about that. The sanctuary is over. Okay, if you're in the Navy or you think about joining the Navy, all right, get your head out your ass. You're coming into harm's way. Okay, you better get fucking ready because shit's gonna pop off one day. All right, you're not out here on a pleasure cruise. You're out here on a warship. All right. The National Defense Strategy makes clear that we must defend our homeland, deter strategic attack, deter, and be prepared to prevail in a conflict against the People's Republic of China. Boom. Calls it out by name. No fucking geopolitical situation, country red here. All right. Be ready for China and meet the acute challenge of an aggressive Russia. Boom. No country black there, or there's another red country, right? Actually, we go by flag color, right? And other persistent threats. Our adversaries have designed their militaries to overcome our traditional sources of strength. Look at that. Like, it's all right there. Our traditional sources of strength. They're adapting and overcoming just like we should be. What are our traditional sources of strength, you ask? The aircraft carrier. Big ships. Move slower. What are they doing? Smaller ships, more ships, a lot of fucking ships, maritime militia ships in China, right? Ships that look like fishing boats that they just throw fucking people and fucking launch pads on just to shoot shit from, right? Like, think about that. Maritime militia sounds really fucking cool, actually, too. I wish, and I'm not saying them, but I wish, like, America had a maritime militia. You got all these militias down in the fucking backwoods of the fucking Podunk down south and all these other backwood ass places, right? Where are the coastal states, right? California, there's only 3 on the West Coast, right? California's too bitch to do it. But where's their maritime militia? Where you have, it would be like, there's a state government, but like, where's the people coming together, putting these boats together, arming themselves for when might the day come that they need to get underway as a civilian population and guard our West Coast shore? Something to think about. Pretty cool if you ask me. We must think. Wait. Our adversaries have designed the military to overcome our traditional source of strength. Bold, underlined. We must move rapidly to stay ahead. We've not been. We're rapidly behind. We're falling behind. Where's the next generation frigate? It's not the one I'm on. I can tell you that. Okay. LCS. Where's the full capability of LCS showing yet? Still trying to figure it out 15 years later. Okay. Would I like it to be... I would like to see a Navy that was more ready. It would warm my heart and have a warm, fuzzy feeling to see shipyards across America pumping out the newest warships, destroyers. Destroyers are still fucking badass. They're getting so much action over there. Like, God bless them, right? They're after it. But like, the new frigate, why are we not pumping that thing out? After the new frigate, what else is there? We need more ships. We need shipyards that can get ship repairs done, right? If you look at the history of it, like, we're not ready for that, okay? We must think and act and operate differently, leveraging wargaming and experimentation to integrate conventional capability with hybrid, unmanned, and disruptive technologies. Cool. Tomorrow's battlefield will be incredibly challenging and complex, yes. To win decisively in that environment, our sailors must be the best warfighters in the world. With the best systems, with the best systems, weapons, and platforms to ensure we can defeat our adversaries. We will, underline bold, put more players on the field, platforms that are made ready with the right capabilities, weapons and sustainment, and people who are ready with the right skills, tools, training, and mindset. Like, I really like where she's going with this. I really, really do. We're not there, though, and everything actually happening on the deck plates and policies out there do not speak to this, right? So I think she needs to make some round turn on a lot of things, to change a lot of things, because it says sailors must be the best warfighters. You're fucking right, okay, because it is coming. This is big, again, big, bold, underline, front page article. Sailors are warfighters. I don't care about your college anymore. Okay, I don't care about your fucking collaterals, any collateral. I don't care, right? What are we doing to become better warfighters? Okay, are you technically proficient on all your systems? Okay, and that goes kind of like into ESWAS, right? Like, do you know the ship? Can you fight the ship? Things like that. More players on the field. We're having a horrible retention because of things like this. and horrible recruitment. So we better figure something out. And the shit you see out there from recruiters, that's not it. All right, stop lying to these young civilians out there. Tell them the fucking truth about what it's going to be. All right, they can handle it. Get them in the Navy, train them up, and let's go. All right, and people, and this isn't underlined, but I think it should have been, who are ready with the right skills, tools, training, and the mindset. Right, it's a mindset. One of the biggest advantages that Marines have over any other branch, but I think throughout history has shown, right, is the mindset that they're a Marine, right? That they are a rifleman first, right? Like every Marine's a rifleman, or infantryman. What do they say? Every Marine's a rifleman, or every Marine's a infantryman. I think rifleman. But at any rate, you get what I'm saying? It's their mindset, right? We in the Navy as sailors do not have that mindset. We have the mindset of, we just float around on the ship and don't do shit. Like, we gotta change that somehow. And you're gonna sit there like, well, Chief, you gotta change that. Nah, it gotta start with policy somewhere. That way when we do it, we don't get hemmed up, we don't get in trouble for it, right? Because there's chiefs my age that, I want to say we're not old school as some of you old schools would think, but we were trained early in our years from the old school, right? And we have a little bit of it, right? We heard about it, we witnessed some of it, and there's a little bit there. That's quickly dying off, and unless there's an immediate change and things are brought back, and don't get it twisted, I'm not saying old school with all the bad. I'm just saying that the hard line of work and being better and being a warfighter, being competent, and that work and the job comes first, and we don't have time for all the bullshit. Okay, I should have so much work to put on your eval that I don't have space for your collateral shit. Okay, yeah, and that comes with a mindset. We need to have that mindset. Chiefs need to have that mindset. A lot of us don't. The mess collectively, I would say we're falling behind on that mindset. I think we really are. And then going on. So our priorities, as I said earlier, are warfighting, warfighters, and the foundation that supports them. Warfighting, deliver decisive combat power. We will view everything we do through a warfighting lens. Are we? Will we? She just said it. What I would like to do is go into the next meetings of next week or whatever, or when we get off ship, we start planning this yard period and everything, and we're doing that stuff, like warfighting lens at the front, right? A lot of times it doesn't happen. To ensure our Navy remains the world's preeminent fighting force, we will prioritize the readiness and capabilities required to fight and win at sea, and the logistics, shout out logistics, and shore support required to keep our Navy fit to fight. Two parts in there. Logistics side, like myself, right? Right parts, right place, right time. But the fit to fight, it goes back to like that shipyard help. Like, Congress needs to do something about getting shipyards built in states, in California, Washington, up and down the East Coast, wherever we need to. And it's got to happen fast, because if it doesn't, when it happens, we're not going to be able, we're going to start losing and taking damage faster than we can repair. And that's going to be a problem. Why we won World War II is because when ships got hurt and they got back in the yards, they were like out of the yards within a month, 2 months, back in the fight. Think about that. Okay. And this is something we need to build now. We cannot rely that when it happens that, oh my God, yeah, let's do it all now. Like, we're sorely behind. You can read, I've read some articles out there talking about like how many shipyards like China has, right? And then we have, and it's just, it's not good, not good. We will prioritize the readiness and capabilities required to fight and when it's eat up. Read that. We recognize that we will never fight alone. We will advance, excuse me. I kind of go, we will recognize that we'll never fight alone. We'll advance naval integration with the Marine Corps and synchronize and align our warfighting efforts with the joint force. Okay, so that's cool, but still the biggest Navy out there, right? Like, we cannot say like, oh, we're not going to fight alone, we have them. They're the ones looking at us saying that they're not going to fight alone. They have the U.S. Navy to back them, right? So we have to set the example. We have to lead the nations around the world in that maritime strategy, defense, blah, 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 all those cool words, right? How can we? We need to build it. We need to build it. We're years behind on building it. We will design and drive interoperability with our allies and partners to deliver combined lethality. Cool. Like, it was like, that was like started off real good and then kind of lost me just because, yes, we need to do that, but I'd like to do it with a lot more ships. Warfighters, strengthen the Navy team. We're over 15 minutes. We're almost there though. We will use the principles of mission command to empower leaders at all levels to operate in uncertain, complex, and rapidly changing environments, ready to take initiative and bold action with confidence. We will build strong warfighting teams, recruiting and retaining talented people. Yikes, from across the rich fabric of America. That goes into like the every sailor's a recruiter and blah blah blah. Like, that I kind of don't like, just because we'll visit those opinions on a longer form here, but I do like where she's saying like empower leaders at all levels. Like, you need to give captains more captain authority and not have to run it up the flagpole so fucking far for some, to me, again, I don't know shit about that, but like, how many people do we need to ask to do something? It's the captain of a warship. They should be able to make the fucking decision, right? If not, then I don't know, fucking give them more training to make this decision. I don't know. So we will provide world-class training and education to our sailors and civilians. Back to the civilian thing. I can't, like, world-class training and education to our sailors and civilians. How about fucking skip the civilians and give it to our sailors? Okay? If there's civilian training that needs to happen, then their company, they can pay for that, those contractors. If they're DOD, then we need to ask ourselves, what fucking training do you need to do your job? Because you're not doing it already, right? I'm not happy with them always putting the civilians. I think it what's the word? It knocks us down, right? And you're like, well, you think you're better. Yes, I do think that we should separate, like, military, not separate. We should look at military in and of themselves separately for what they need, okay? And we should not, like, pack in these civilians that, again, provide, 65% shitty support in with us, okay? Honing their skills and giving them every opportunity to succeed, we will ensure our quality of service meets the highest standards, and we will look after our families and support networks who enable us to accomplish our warfighting mission. You better really start building some more CDCs and shit. Like, there's a lot of stuff that needs to change there, okay? Again, I think it's good. It starts off really good, and then it kind of teeters off a little bit. And then I think there's some stuff in there. The civilian thing should not be thrown in there. But again, one of those, ensure a quality of service, meaning like the things that we need to serve to make our life easier. Yeah, that definitely needs to be fucking uplifted, right? Let's start with paychecks. Let's start with pay raises. Let's start with more BH. Let's start with COLA and expensive ass fucking San Diego. Let's do some of that, okay? Foundation. Build trust, align resources, be ready. We will earn and reinforce the trust and confidence of the American people every day. We will work with Congress to field and maintain the world's most powerful Navy and the infrastructure that sustains it. We will team with industry and academia to solve our most pressing challenges. We will cooperate with the interagency to bolster integrated deterrence. We will align what we do ashore with the warfighting needs of our fleet. Again, it's one of those ashore things, right? Like, it's hard to meet the warfighting needs of the fleet when, and look, guilty. I love a 96 when I'm on shore duty, okay? But there's got to be a fucking duty personnel. How can you not have someone on duty, on the phone, on a computer, and be able to reply to an email to make something happen within an hour? That's unsat. Okay, like, holiday routine, holiday for some, routine for others, okay? Like, to even something as simple as if I call someone up and it's lunchtime, you tell me everyone in the office left for lunch, there's always got to be one person back holding it down to make something happen. That's just complete shit. And these are things that just happened in the last month that I experienced that blow my mind, that the shore is not in line with the fleet and what's happening operationally. And that's counter to exactly what CNO right here says, okay? And that's what irks me there. That's what's not cool. Working with Congress, God bless them. Good luck. The infrastructure, right? I've been talking about a lot about the infrastructure, and it gets like one little line in here, but I know that CNO is thinking about infrastructure. We need more ships. We need shipyards, and we need ships. That's what's going to win future wars. Okay. Yeah, and the team with the industry, team with a better industry than the motherfuckers that built this. Okay. Go look at whoever's building the destroyer. I know who built it, but I'm not gonna say like, and just get them to build something smaller and faster. Okay, because this thing, it's it's come a long way. It's got a long way to go. I'll tell you that much. Our charge. America is counting on us to deter aggression, defend our national security interests, and preserve our way of life. With the right tools, a winning mindset, and the highest levels of integrity, we'll operate safely as a team to deliver warfighting excellence. I've always got a problem, and I've grown more and more this way, right? Our way of life in America is not going to be, I don't think is going to be radically changed by someone overseas, unless it's China that stops fucking sending us goods and we can't import any, or build it, we can't import anything made from China, or we can't make anything ourselves. Right? So constitutionally, our way of life, I don't think will be changed much unless we change it ourselves within the borders of America. Okay? We're trying to preserve other ways of lives, which sometimes is good when they're their ally, right? But yeah, like, yeah. You know, national security interest. Now that makes sense, right? Like, well, can't have them taking that country, right? I ain't gonna say the country name. You know which one rhymes with Taiwan, okay? You know, so shit like that, you know. And then she wraps it up. You know, I am proud to serve alongside you. I thank you and your families for your continued commitment and ensuring we are always ready. We have taken a fix and set our course. Together, we will deliver the Navy the nation needs. The time is now to move with purpose and urgency. All ahead, flank. That's pretty cool, you know. It's pretty good priorities here. I like them. And I'll follow up more with like a longer form. This is 22 minutes. We got to wrap this up, but I'll probably talk about these with some homies or something in a longer form or something. Maybe go live, but we'll see. CNO 33, Lisa Franchetti, Admiral type, you know, way to step out there and do it. I like the warfighting, America's warfighting Navy. It's right there, front page at the top of it, America's warfighting Navy. You're out here trying to fucking, you know, fucking start run clubs and fucking associations and bake sales and fucking hoo-yah. Better fucking get right, because we shouldn't be about that. We're not about that. We need to get about that war fighting, because that's what's to come. All right, we out. On to the next one. See you tomorrow.